Alright, this should be pretty good. We'll get started in like a minute or two. Oh, gotta close this. Let's get started. Maybe lower on a little bit. Okay, this is a village with 10. Alright, so this is the game. Let me put up just to make it easier. So the way that this game works is we're given a deck of cards, each with their own abilities. Among those cards, only 10 are in play. We have 3 of them lying, and one of them is these yellow cards. Because we have this card here, we actually have 2, so we probably have 1 of each in the deck. And I'm gonna try and on the screen there's these big texts that I'm gonna try and use to help showcase this. We started off with 10, and the easiest way for me to put 10 is in the center, which is why it's blocking everything. But other villages have different sizes, and those are usually put in the corners. But 10's a bit too big for me to do that, so it goes in the center. So let's first try and figure out where everyone is. Okay. We'll just spin through everything. So that guy got killed. Oh, we got 3. Alright, so that places us with Hen is Lillis, because they didn't kill themselves. Let me quickly put on the board everything now. 1 second. Lillis, Chancellor, Minion. So those are the only ones that are hidden. As for the actual deck itself, what's in play? We've got Confessor, Lover, Plague, Empress, Dead Card, Plague, Oracle, Enlightened, and another Plague, with the last one being Lilith. Okay, so Lilith prioritizes killing good characters first, which means that this character here was good. The counter also didn't go up on the side when 5 died, so that means they have to be good. Plague Doctors add corruption, which is making a good character lie. So that means that, assuming one of these are real, we have a good corruptor. We have someone that's good but also corrupted. I also have this little drawing thing I can use to help connect lines and stuff. So, the Confessor is already lying. Whenever they're evil or corrupted, they say they're dizzy versus being good. Which means there's a chance that they're evil to satisfy the lover, who says there's one evil adjacent. It would also satisfy the Empress, who found one evil between 1, 6, and 9. What's confusing me is normally we can only have one of each outcast roll. So I'm wondering if... Why do that? There we go. Now we can actually see the cards. So, because we have a Chancellor, we're supposed to have a second yellow card somewhere. The yellow cards are supposed to be unique, so the fact that we have 3 of the same outcast or yellow card means that 2 of these are evil. Since the Chancellor needs to add a second one, this killed card is probably that second card. So that puts the Chancellor between these 2. In fact, let me just do the Elan. Let's see. I think... Let's see. This is claiming 2 or 6 as Chancellor. Probably 6. So... Plague Doctor, I get to pick a card, and if they were corrupted, they tell me what someone evil is. So, because I know 10 is not corrupted, if they lie, they will, pick someone else. So if I check 10, we know 10 is not corrupted, so that means 6 is lying. And they were the Chancellor. So that pins the Oracle as good, and that also puts 2 as good, because of the 2, only one of them is evil. So that means we found one of them. Let's see. That also would satisfy the Empress, because we now have 6 being the evil. So that makes 1 and 9 good, and 3 would be our other evil. And they fall for the same corruption trap. Okay. So that's the first one done. Next one's 8. Got Plague Doctor. We've got Plague Doctor, Shaman, and Lilith as our hiddens. Well, as our Shaman and Lilith are our hidden roles. So let me add that real quick. And let's see what we have to reveal. Found a Plague Doctor. You didn't kill, so that means you probably hit a knight. Knights can't die, so that means there's going to be another knight on the side of the board. Yeah, so it hit 6. Okay. So we've got a Plague Doctor, a Knight, a Fortune Teller, Bard, a Scout, a Knight, and 2 Poets. This village is probably going to be fast, if I had to guess. So, we do have a Plague Doctor. A Plague Doctor can corrupt someone. So we do have 1 corruption on the board. That means the Bard is likely being honest. And that pins one of these 2 as being the corrupted. 7 is accusing 4 of being evil. And then we've got either 3 or 6 being the Shaman. So this is going to be interesting. Because we have a Shaman, one of the villagers got duplicated. So it could be the Knights, or it could be the Poets. There's an evil among 7, 8, and 2. We know that for a fact. If... Let's see. So because we know it's among 7, 8, and 2, if 3 were evil, then... Let's see, it would be 2 and 3. Our corruption would be misplaced unless... Well, no, our corruption would be misplaced because it's either 7 is corrupted and then the bard is lying, or the bard is corrupted and 7 is lying, but then that gives us an extra evil. So that means they probably aren't next to each other. Let's see. Corruption is likely down low. So I think I stabbed the Knight here. Knight is good, because they didn't die. So we found a Shaman duplicate roll. And 7 or 8 is evil. We can now check the Fortune Teller. Fortune Teller found an evil between 2 and 6. We know both of them are good. We have our 1 outcast here, so the Plague Doctor can check this. And they're telling us that 8 is evil. Right here. So because 3 is corrupted, that satisfies Bard, because they're 1 away now. And that'll put the other evil at Poet. Right there. Okay, next up we have another village of 8. No timer this time, and order doesn't matter, so I can just flip everything. And let's see, so we've got a Jester, a Judge, a Poet, a Confessor, an Enlightened, yeah, then another Plague, followed by a Bishop, and the other Plague. And our hidden rolls are going to be the Minion, Ba, and a Doppelganger. Okay. So, we only have one we only have 1 outcast. Ba adds a fake one to the deck, so even though we have 2 options here, one of them don't exist. Let me see real quick. We don't have any duplicate villagers, and because we don't have any duplicate villagers, there's no one for the Doppelganger to disguise as. So that means we do have a real Plague Doctor. So between 8 and 6, one of them is evil. So that means this Bishop is telling the truth. If the Bishop lied, then all the characters would just be regular villagers. However, we know for a fact one of them is outcast or yellow. So that means among 6 and 8, we know there's an evil. Jester has to be good. What can we do with that info? Enlighten also claims evil closest is this way. Okay. If we know these 3 are good, actually. If we know these 3 are good, we can check with the Jester. Because we know these 2 are good, and then we can check 6 or 8 to find out where the other one is. Between 1, 6, and 8, yeah. Jester found an evil at 8. What does 8 have to say about that? 8 is... So 8's claiming that 1 lied, and that 7 is evil. However, we know 7 is good, so that means this one is evil. And that makes Jester good, and this evil. And this our outcast. So now we need to try and figure out where the corrupted one is. Let's see. I can have the judge check this. You're claiming there's a lie. Are you corrupted? You're not corrupted. So that means you are the evil. And the enlightened was our corrupted one. Next up, safe to flip everything. Okay, so now we have 9 evils. So first hidden, we've got a poisoner, puppeteer, bar, and drunk. Oh, puppeteer we want. There we go. And you know, we have enough space, so I'll throw the puppet in as well. So puppet, bar, and drunk. And then as for the actual board, it is... Starting off, we've got a medium, a scout, an architect, a poet, an architect, a poet, plague doctor, empress, alchemist, and bishop. Okay. Now we can start figuring this out. So, like before, we have a fake, because of Ba, we have a fake one, so this plague doctor might not necessarily be real. This could be a disguised evil, and then the drunk card is our actual outcast. Bishop is putting 1, 2, and 6. So knowing that then doesn't really tell us much quite yet. Because this could be evil and this could be drunk, for all we know. Where do we start here? Well, first things first. This scout has to be telling the truth. Puppeteer can only create a puppet next to itself. The only way this puppet would not be made is if there were 2 evils already adjacent to it. Which we also have 4 evils, so we know a puppet was successfully made, because it's 2 plus 1 plus a puppet. So that means that the puppeteer is always next to the puppet, so Scout's being honest here. Knowing that Scout is honest removes one of the 2 evils from this grouping and confirms them as the villager here. So that then makes either 1 drunk or evil, and then that deals with 6 being the alternative. I could burn the Plague Doctor ability, knowing that 2 is being honest. Why don't I do that? Let me burn this. You're saying 2 is not corrupted? And because you're our outcast, that makes 1 our evil. 1's a puppeteer. So I believe that then makes 9 the puppet. Yes, because if 2 was the puppet, then they wouldn't have been the villager in the trio. What next? Well, we got a claim of this being a real puppet, or a real poet. We don't have a drunk, so that means this person is definitely evil. It's the puppeteer, or the poisoner. Which then tracks with this guy being the poisoned, because we found the poisoner that's not at 3 and 4. What else then? Let's see, 2, 3, and 8. Well, I'll tell you what. Architect over here claims the right side is more evil. The only way for the right side to be more evil would be for 4 to be the last one. For 4 to be Ba. Because if 3 was Ba, then right side would be more evil, and an evil is telling the truth, which can't happen. So, let's see. It's also this, 2, 3, 8. So I think that makes 4 evil. Poisoner didn't actually hit anyone then. But then, where's the Plague Doctor? Plague Doctor could corrupt 3. And our last evil could be 7. Because then 2, 3, and 8 are all good. 3 then lies because of corruption, but still is good. And we'll have equidistant evils. So we have 2 on the side. Well, actually, we'll have 2 on the side, and then we'll have 3 on the side, so it'll be left side's more evil. That's still valid. So, if 7 is Ba, that would then make 3 corrupted from 6. Alchemist doesn't cure anyone because everyone around him is evil. And then Poisoner poisons 4, and then 3 is accounted for. Yep. 6 corrupted 3, 5 corrupted 4. Okay, we got another 10. And then it's Witch, Shaman, and Lilith are evils. Well, hiddens. Okay. Alright, so Lilith can only not kill themselves. So that means this was either the witch or the shaman, given that our counter went up. So let's check the rest off. We've got a Bombardier, Oracle, Architect, Knight, Confessor, Dead Card, another Bombardier, Druid, and Scout. Okay. So, none of these characters can corrupt a good villager, so the only way for something to lie here is if they're evil. Knights can't die, so it's either the knight is good, and then they don't die, or the knight is evil and they die. The knight is evil and they die, so that's one of them. Confessor is good, because they would say dizzy if they were evil. That actually just puts the last evil between 7 and 1. So, between 5 and 10, that means this was our shaman. The witch is unaccounted for. It's probably going to be 1 as our evil. Because it has to be between 1 and 7 is the evil. Because we only have 1 outcast and 1 evil left. Druid is claiming that there is no outcasts in the right side, so I'm gonna stab one. One was the witch. Now we got a 9-card layout. Okay, and our hidden roles are... 1 second. Hidden roles are Drunk, Witch, and Lilith. Let's see. So we've got a timer again. Alright, we can't reveal the last one because of the witch. So let's fill in what we know. Got Plague, Jester, Druid, Oracle, Wretch, Baker, Dead card, Slayer, and Hidden card. Okay. So, this time we have 2 outcasts. Wretch can't be disguised as, so that's one of our outcasts. It's a question of, is the Plague Doctor our second one? Well, let's see. First things first, actually. Baker over here, that's the only Baker we revealed. So they should be considered the original Baker. If they lie, they say they were a random village role. Because nothing could convert this, we immediately have a lie. All you claimed as corrupted. You're claiming this is corrupted and 9 is evil. Do I have any way to confirm that before I stab 9? Well, I could have Jester try and vet this. Because Jester could check. Actually, wait, Witch over here. You're interesting. So, if we were to say Plague Doctor is real here, if this was real, that would make 6 our only corrupted character, because we have 2 outcasts. So that would make 6 the one corrupted by the Plague Doctor. And then 9 would be our evil. However, that would then put the Witch on 4. Because if whenever the Oracle lies, both people in its roles have to be good. The Oracle can't be evil and good at the same time. So this breaks immediately. So what if then... What if you were the witch? If one's the witch, then we have a drunk hidden somewhere. So we do still have a corruption. It's just not 6. In fact, that would actually pin both evils and win the game. Because that would make 6... That would make 1 our witch and 6 Lilith. You're claiming the 2 evils are there. Can I stab? You can stab. Perfect. So that means you killed evil at 1. 6 is not corrupted. Because that's a lie. So we just stab 6 and win. And I think, because this is showing the disguise, I think 9 was our drunk. All the way at the top. I can't check that. Oh, I can. I can flip it still. So yeah, 9 was the drunk. Okay. Now we got a village of 7. The only hidden roles in this village are Twin and Ba. No, not Baker. Ba. Okay. And 7 I put up top, yeah. Just because it doesn't fit well with 3's info. No one stops it from flipping, so let's just flip everything immediately. First impression is we don't see a plague doctor, so that's the fake one given by Ba. Let's fill in the rest. So we got Gemcrafter, Alchemist, Knight, Wretch, Lover, Bishop, and Enlightened. Okay. So, let's figure this out. Bishop can't see Wretch as an outcast, because Wretch always registers as a minion. So that means they're saying between these two... Actually, given that this picked itself, I think that guarantees 7 to be an evil. Because whenever a bishop lies, all the characters are villagers. So they themselves can't be evil, because that would then mean they also have to be a villager. So that guarantees our first evil is at 7. So yeah, 7's the twin. That means the closest equal is not clockwise. You know, you're good, which then makes you good. So if it's not clockwise, the most likely scenario is that the closest evil is equidistant, and it's the knight. Because we already know these two are good, it can't be counterclockwise. So it's probably 3's bomb. Yep, there we go. And that's one village done. Next. 2 evils, we have a village of 8. So let's do this really quickly. No corruptions. So let me see, is there a way? If I do windowed mode, what does that do to the stream? Oh, that does a lot. And it doesn't fix the audio, so we're just going to go back to full screen. Oh, I backed out. So it's going to give me a new village now. Whoops. It's now at 9. And our hidden roles are going to be the Drunk, Shaman, Puppeteer, Puppet, and Lilith. Okay. Let's just start flipping. Okay. So our village contains the following. We've got a bishop, a bard, a druid, hunter, jester, dead card, hunter, slayer, and then fortune teller. Okay. So, what can we learn from this? 6 died, and the counter didn't go up. So that means 6 is either drunk or good. Either way, they're not the evil. They're not evil. Unfortunately, this could be any character, which means this duplicate hunter does not guarantee that was what the shaman hit. Bard is claiming that either the Slayer or the Jester is out drunk, because we don't have any other characters that can be corrupted. If we were to believe the Bishop here, that would then pin 5 as our drunk. How can I vet this information? We could have Well, first things first, actually. Both of these are saying the closest evil is 4 away. That is impossible because we have 4 evils. If either hunter would be to believed, we'd only have space for 2 evils. So both of these hunters are actually lying. And since there's no way for corruption, then that means they're probably both evil. It is possible then, if that's the case, 7 could be drunk and 4 could be evil. And then, well then, yeah, because then that would make 5 not, then remove the drunk from these sides, and then 2 could be lying. But always 4 is evil and not drunk. So 4 was Lilith. Is there any way... Well, given that I know 3 potential spots, I can check Druid now. Because I know the drunk has to be in one of these 3 locations. So let's see if we find the drunk. We do find the drunk in one of those 3 locations. So that's 3. 3 is the good in the roll. Let's see. We can have Fortune Teller. Pick one of these 2. We know one of these has to be... Oh, wait, no, we don't know one of them has to be evil. Because... Well, actually, we do know one of them has to be evil. If 2 was evil, then 7 would have to be the drunk. If 2 is drunk, that makes 7 evil, and then 5 would have to be good. If 5 is drunk, 2 is good, 7 is evil. If 7 is drunk, 2 is evil, 5 is good. Yeah, no, that doesn't do anything. Actually, what that does is, it means 8 is good. Well, 8 is not, drunk. So we could theoretically have an ability here. It also... Let's see. If 9 was drunk, then that means all 3 of these have to be good. 1, 2, 3. That's a possibility. But then we still... Well, we don't know the duplicate because it's hidden. I think it's going to be 2 and 5. So I'll stab 7. Okay, 7 was the shaman. Perfect. So that means that you are our drunk, right? Yeah, you're the drunk. So that then makes you good and you good. And then that makes 9 puppeteer. And the puppet could actually be 8 or 1. Because the puppet still is honest. Dang, if this was 3 away. Alright. 1, 2. Let's check 8. Okay, it's 1. Bit close. Good thing I had enough health for that. Next up, got a big set of 9. So at 9 again, I can just flip everything. So let me flip everything first and then fill in the info. Okay, so we've got a Slayer, a Plague Doctor, another Slayer, a Wretch, a Knight, a Dreamer, a Witness, a Bard, and a Baker. For our hidden roles, we've got Drunk, Chancellor, Poisoner, Bar, and that's it. Okay. So, first things first. we do have corruption. We do have potentially 2 corruptions, so it's not safe to stab the knight. When we stab the knight, when they're corrupted, they deal 9 damage instead of 5, and that basically kills. We can check the Dreamer first. Dreamer is lying now, because Dreamer looks at the wretch like cabbage, so it should not say poisoner here. 3 is being claimed to be affected by an evil. And then we also have, you're lying as well. Oh wait, we have a Chancellor, I forgot. So actually, because we have a Chancellor... Wait. Did the Chancellor add the fake outcast into the game? I think they did, because if there's only 4 yellow cards. There's only 4 outcasts. There's Wretch, Drunk, Plague Doctor, and Doppelganger. And Bombardier. Okay, so 5. But regardless, whichever one the Chancellor adds should show up in the deck. Actually, no, never mind. We only have, we have 2 outcasts. Never mind. 1 outcast plus 1 from Chancellor. So, it's possible that the Plague Doctor is the extra one. So... Okay. So let's consider... if Plague Doctor is evil, then that means we have a drunk. If Plague Doctor is good, we don't have a drunk. But either way, Plague Doctor adds a corruption. So no matter what, we have 2 good characters that are going to be lying in this game. No matter how we slice it. If Bard is telling the truth, 5 is corrupted. And then that would then make 3 the other corruption. It's very possible that 5 is corrupted, because 6 we know is lying. So 6 could be the, what do you call it? 6 could be the poisoner poisoning 5. That is a scenario. What if then... 7 is claiming 3 is evil. If that's the case... Or 3 is affected by an evil. The only way for 3 to be affected by an evil is if 2 is evil. If 2 is Chancellor, then 3 became a drunk. If 2 is Poisoner, 2 poisons 3. So if 2 poisons 3, then that makes... If 2 poisons 3, that gives us a drunk somewhere. Still unaccounted for. But then that does give us 1. And 1, I don't think, can ever be corrupted. Let's see. If we were to say that 1 is corrupted, let's just say they're corrupted right now, that would then make 3 lie, 7 lie, 6 lie. So if 1 is corrupted by 2... Oh, and also you would be... So we have 4 lies all across here. If we're assuming that 1 is also corrupted, though... I don't think this is a scenario. Because if we are to assume... If we're saying 1 was corrupted, then we have 4 lies here. So it'd be 3 evils plus a corruption. So that would then make, what, 9 poisoner poisoning 1, 8 evil, 7 evil, 2 corrupted from Plague Doctor. That is technically possible, but I feel like that's very unlikely. But that is something to consider. What if... I think we just double stab 6 here. Because I feel like... Well, here, let's check... Let's check Plague Doctor's info. Claiming that 3 is evil and 9 is corrupted. Is there any way for me to prove that 3 is evil? If 3 is evil, then... If 3 is evil, that makes you also lie. That makes you lie as well, because your corruption is spread out too much. And then that makes you lie as well. So it'd then be 8 is poisoner, poisoning 9. And then 6 is hit by the Plague Doctor. That is possible. That does give us 1 as good, though. So we do get a free stab with 1. Let's check this. It did work, so that means 3 is Chancellor, and they created either 2 or 4. So that makes you good. You corrupted. No, you're good, but corrupted. You're also good. So that makes these 3 liars. So because we have an evil and a corruption found, all that's left is Ba and Poisoner. There's no way for Poisoner to hit 5 at this point, because if it was 6 poisoning 5, then we have an evil and we have a lie unaccounted for, so I can always safely stab Knight. It does nothing, shocker, because we already know the evil's up here. So we know you lied. So I think it's just we stab him around until we find the answers. So we found Poisoner. Poisoner poisons 9. And then it's a coin toss on which of these was hit by the Plague Doctor. 6 was hit by the Plague Doctor. Now we're on 8. And a timer. No. Not really caring about the timer for the sake of me writing down the info. So, starting off with our hidden roles, it is just Shaman and Lilith. And then, for the roles that were revealed, we've got Poet, Gemcrafter, Poet again, Judge, Wretch, Dead Card, Gemcrafter again, Lover again. So how can this be set up? What's our conditions? Wretch we always know is good, they just appear evil. So that means 3 seeing 5 as evil is good, because Wretch always appears as evil. So these 2 are instantly good. We've got, hold on. We've got a gem crafting vetting each other, which is kind of sus here. It's possible that they were hit with the Shaman, and these both immediately became, what do you call it? These both immediately became trusting of each other. Right now you're saying the truth, so that makes you good. Okay. So, what's our scenario here? We've got, honestly, a coin toss again. I probably should have kept this. This could have told me everything. I should have waited. Because it's either, we've got either 7 and 2 are evil. If these both are evil, it satisfies the Lover with, only 1 evil is adjacent, so it'd be 7. And then it satisfies this Poet by having all the evils not adjacent to each other. The alternative Well, actually, no. The alternative doesn't work. If 8 and 1 were the evil, then love only has one evil adjacent. That makes them tell the truth, even if the evils are not adjacent to each other. So I think it's 7 and 2 are the evils, and they tried to vet for each other. Next up, we got another village of 9 with a timer. Why don't I actually keep track of this? Because I'm going in order anyway. 7 and 9 is shaman. So you're accusing 7 of being a shaman. Oh, I can't reveal the last one because of witch. Okay. So let's fill out the info. We've got a gem crafter, a lover, a judge, a dreamer, a judge, an oracle, a dreamer, an unknown card, and a killed card. And our evils are... Our hidden roles are shaman, Lilith, and witch. Alright, where do we start here? Immediately we have one claiming 7 is good, while 3 is claiming it's evil. Well, 6 is claiming that it's evil. Because 9 died and our counter didn't go up, we know 9 is good. And our duplicate is likely either the judge or the dreamer. We've got an interesting situation over here, though, with this lover. Lover is claiming to have 2 evils adjacent to itself. We have no corruption on this board, so that then means that either they're evil or they're being honest. We can't have someone being good and lying. So if we were to believe them that 2 evils are adjacent, it'd be these 2 are evils, and then 7 would be the 3rd evil. It'd be 1, 3, 7. That then gives us these 2 as good. If 2 is evil, then only one of these are adjacent evils. Would that then make... That could then be 3 still. And then 1 vet 7 as the shaman duplication. If none of them are evil, that doesn't work. If none of them were evil, then that means we have our judges duplicated by the shaman. But then we also have an... Oh, actually, it could be 1 is 7's good and then 4 is evil. And so that'd be 4, 6 is evil. And then what would that make? 8 the last evil? I'm a bit scared to stab this card while not knowing what it is, because we didn't find the Bombardier. And if 8's the Bombardier, then I just lose. It's possible 9 was it, and then because it got killed by Lilith, the game it didn't end. But where do I start on this? I don't think there's any world where 5 is evil. Let's see. Let's play with that. Let's say, what happens when 5 is evil? When 5 is evil, our dreamers are the shaman, so that makes you good. That makes you lie, and you lie. Well, that's when you're good. When you're good, we have 6, 3, and 2 are evils. When you're evil, that then puts you 2 as good. Potentially makes 3 good. And then that would make 2 evil. So that'd be 5, 2. And then I guess that would make 8. Well, no, it would be 5, 2, and 6. would be our evils. So it's 5, 2, 6 is our evils. Or if you're good, then I should be writing this down. If you're good, then you could be our shaman pair. Or it could still be 3's evil, 2's evil, 6 is evil. It still puts me in the same boat. Let's just check this. 5 is claiming 6 is being honest. So if 6 is being honest, that puts the shaman at 7. Puts 1 lying. And then what 2 would be the other liar then to satisfy having a duplicate pair as shaman. Let's check that. You're the shaman. Can you confirm that? Yep, so we know 4 is good. We know 1 is lying, and we don't have any duplicate rolls. 9's Lilith, so... Oh, I don't have the witch, so I still can't flip that card. So actually knowing this, check, are you lying? You know that that's lying, so that means you're good. So the last one's 2. There we go. Okay, now we get into the interesting stuff, because now we have Puka. And Puka creates 2 lies. So we've got Lover, Fortune Teller, Poet, Gem Crafter, Poet, Slayer, Oracle, and Bombardier. So, first things first of this board. We know the Bombardier is good because we don't see any other outcasts, so you are our outcast. Poet's our only duplicate roll, and because Shaman has to duplicate something, that means both of our poets are good. That doesn't mean they tell the truth, that just means they're good. We know that this, the Bombardier has to be good, so that makes this Gem Crafter tell the truth. Instantly, that makes you lie, because we know the Bombardier is good. We also know that this is a lie. We know the Poet is lying because 4 away would only make space for 1 evil, but we have 2. So given that both of these are lying, it's very likely this Fortune Teller here is going to be the Puka. Yeah, so you're evil. So you're the Puka corrupting 3 and 1. It is possible that 1 is the Shaman still, though. But now that puts us in a situation where it's either 1 or 7 is the, what do you call it? Is the Puka. And given that 3 is should be telling the truth, odds are it's going to be at 1. Yes, it is. Because if there's no way for corruption to spread to 5, so it's that then makes it that 7 is 2 away. And that wouldn't make sense for the Shaman. We've got 9 now. Okay. Let's put this info in. So we've got a Knight, a Fortune Teller, an Oracle, a Bishop. Why does that keep not working? Bishop, a Bombardier. No, wait. Knight, Fortune Teller, Oracle, Bishop is here. Oh, I'm typoing probably. So Bishop, Bombardier, Oracle, Architect, Dead Card, and then Wretch. Okay. And then our hidden roles. Our hidden roles are going to be Lilith, Puppeteer, Puppet, and Doppelganger. Those are our potential hidden roles. We have 3 evils, but only 2 listed up here. So that means a puppet was successfully created. Which is good. Let's see. There is no poison, so we always check the night. Night's good. It is possible that 3 is being honest here, even though that's a wretch, because the wretch registers as a random evil. So honestly, this proccing on that means that they're being... Well... So you have to be what was being picked up by this. So that then makes you good as well. But then how do we have 2 duplicate? Oh, Doppelganger is possible. So, because all this tells me is that we're good. So we have a Doppelganger. That means Bombardier is likely the liar. So, let's see, we gotta... Yeah. So you are likely evil. I'm not going to stab you because that's going to end the game if I do that. But you're likely the evil. Right side's being claimed to be more evil. Doesn't really track. So here's what I think I'll do. You claim that there is an evil among them. I think 5 is evil. I really do. I think it's gonna be 5, 4, and then 5, 4, and then 7. Because it would be 5 is the puppeteer. They make a puppet at 4, and then 7's Lilith. So what? I can check this. 4 is the puppet, from 5 being the puppeteer. That then makes you tell the truth, and 7 the last evil. Got a board of 8. I can just flip everything. Okay, so first out, hidden roles are Puppeteer, Puppet, Doppelganger. Those are what's hidden. And then for our set of 8, we've got Architect, Poet, Gemcrafter, Druid, Bombardier, Hunter, Poet, Enlightened. That's our set of 8. So, what can we get from this table? We only have 1 outcast. And we do have a duplicate, so it's possible we have a doppelganger instead of a bombardier. Actually... knowing that this has to be doppelganger and bombardier, we can check 4's info right now. Because 4 has to pick one of the 2. Okay, 4 is claiming that the Bombardier is good, which the Gemcrafter is vetting as well, because if the Bombardier wasn't real, then this would also be a lie. So I'm going to say I'm going to trust these 2 roles, and that means that we have a Bombardier and not a Doppelganger. Doppelganger is the fake card thrown in by Ba. Then we also know, because we have a successful creation, Puppeteer's always one away from its closest evil, because that's the puppet. This is a lie. I might just stab this. Puppeteer. Given the Puppeteer's over here, actually. Because the Puppeteer's on this side, the puppet has to be on this side. Left side can't be more evil. So I think it's 3's the puppet and 1 is Ba. Yep. Got a 10 bang. Got 10 set up, and nothing stopping me from just flipping everything. Okay, so what's our situation? We have a medium, bombardier, enlightened, hunter, gemcrafter, empress, fortune teller, bishop, plague doctor, and then second bishop. Okay. And then for our hidden roles, we've got minion, chancellor, puka for our hidden roles. Swap this. So, alright. Let's see from here. We've got, because we have a chancellor, that then means both of these have to be real outcasts. Because the chancellor needs to add a second outcast. We have 1, so one of these is real. The other one was added by the outcast. So that means there's an evil among 8, 10, 1, and 3. It's likely between 10 and 8 as our guaranteed evil. 5's claiming 9 is good, which we know to be true. 4 is lying because, again, 5 away. There's no space for the other evils. And then we got a claim of counterclockwise. So let's check this first. Are you corrupted? You are corrupted, and you're saying 1 is evil from that. 1's our chancellor. 1 was betting on 8, and we don't have a doppelganger, so they get stabbed. Okay. Now let's check. So that means these both are... No, these both are good. Between 4, 5, and 6. This is a lie. And because this is a lie, that makes you a villager. So, let's see. I forget if Enlighten, if Enlighten's evil, if it sees itself as closest. I don't think it does. So I think what happened is Plague Doctor corrupts 4, 10 is Puka, and they didn't get to corrupt anyone. Yep. They did not get to corrupt. Okay, let's fill the board out. So we've got a minion, Ba, Chancellor, and Drunk. Potential Drunk as a hidden role. And then for our board, we've got the Judge, the Plague Doctor, the Bishop, Gemcrafter, Dreamer, Baker, Knight, Dreamer again, and Gemcrafter. We only have 9 evils this time, not 10. Alright. So, instantly, because we don't have a Shaman, we have an evil between 9 and 4, and between 8 and 5. We also have 6 claiming they were... Actually, 6... Interesting. So because 6 says they're the original, that means that they have to be telling the truth. Anytime they lie, they say I was, and then it's gonna fill in the blank with a random roll. So Baker has to be honest. Because Baker is being honest, and they did not create another Baker, that means that all the rolls up here are either evil or drunk. So we have 2 evils at the top of the board, which we already knew. But what that also tells us then is one of them is a drunk roll. It's most likely 7's the drunk, because these 2 are almost guaranteed evils. Okay, let's think for a moment. If 7 was drunk, that makes both of these evil. And then you would be you could be corrupted from 2. In fact, you probably are corrupted from 2. Here, well, also we can check this. Saying the truth, so we can vet 1. So 1 can't be the final evil. We also actually have Outcast up here. And because of that, 3 can't be lying or evil. So 3 has to be good. If 3 was lying, everything has to be a villager. But we know a Plague Doctor is in this grouping. So that would then, if 7's drunk, that would then make 4 our final evil. And then that satisfies everything. We're good, evil, drunk. So this would be the state. What if we have you drunk? If you're drunk, that would make you good, you evil, and then these both evil. That is possible. What if 8's drunk? If 8's drunk, that makes both of these evil, and then 5 evil again. In fact, 5 has to be evil, so that this cannot be in play. Actually, wait, that's a good point. Hold up. If 2's evil, if 2's drunk, 9 can't be good because drunk only plays as disguises as something not in play. So you would have to be evil, but you can't be evil because drunks are good. So Gemcrafter's 9 is always evil. So you get stabbed. So that means it's either 8, 7, 5 or 7, 8, 4. Actually, wait. Is it always 4? I think it's always... Well, no, because again, we do have the Plague Doctor's corruption to consider. In fact, here, let's start doing this. Okay. So, what that tells me is 5 could also be corrupted. It's not guaranteed that 4 is our corrupted card. Given that either of these can be evil, and one of these 2 has to be evil, I think who gets hit with the Plague Doctor? I think 7 gets hit. 7 is evil, 8 is corrupted. So you are the drunk then. And one of you were hit by the Plague Doctor corruption. 5 was. Alright, we've got Willis now. Okay, let's fill out the board. So we have 10 evils, or 10 cards. It's Enlightened, Poet, Confessor, Enlightened, Empress, Killed card, Guard, Plague, Killed card. And then our hidden characters. Actually, I guess, honestly, if 10 is killed, I can keep this out of the middle of the screen and just use the 9 village. No, because it gets blocked, right? Because of the formatting. Then we have Shaman, Poisoner, Lilith as our hidden roles. Alright. I'm good. Confessor's always claiming good, so that's fine. We know that this bard is definitely lying because we have 2 people that can guarantee bring out corruption. Or we have at least one that can. It's possible the Plague Doctor is evil and one of these face down cards is our outcast. So immediately these enlightens are getting into a predicament because these both are claiming counterclockwise and this one's claiming equidistant. The only way for the equidistance to work is if one of these 2 are lying. Actually, is there even a way for equidistant to work? If you're evil, 1, 2, 3, then it would then be 2 and 8. 8 is evil, but 2 is already claiming that, so that doesn't work. So 5 can't be evil. 4 could be corrupted. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 4 could be poisoner, poisoning 5. But then if 4 is poisoner, poisoning 5, 1 is lying. Oh, 1 could lie from the Plague Doctor. Yes, evil will be equidistant. I think I think 8 always gets stabbed. I don't think 8 can get corrupted here. If 8 takes the Plague Doctor corruption, then what? 4 poisons 5, and then 1 is evil? But 4 poisons 5 and 1 is evil. That makes 6 telling the truth. And then we have 2 evils. We don't have a 3rd evil. It have to be 9 or 8 be the 3rd evil. But if no, that does work. Yeah, let's check this. Actually, that tells us everything we need to know. Plague Doctor is claiming 7 was evil. Our counter never went up when Lois killed them, so that means 9 has to be evil. You're the poisoner, so you probably poisoned 8. So that makes 8 most likely good. That means 5 is not corrupted, so 5 would then what would then be evil? Unless unless 5 is telling the truth, 5 is good, then it's 6 and 4 which are the evils. I think I like that one more. There we go. Okay, so our hidden roles are Minion, Puka, and Drunk. And then our village is set up to have we've got a scout, a judge, a fortune teller, a bard, a knight, a jester, a bombardier, a baker, and a medium. Alright, so where do we start with this? For starters, the scout is immediately lying. Because, well, the baker is immediately lying. We don't have another baker to convert it, and it was one of the last cards we flipped. We also have 2 outcasts, and knowing we have 2 outcasts, that means the bombardier is good, and we have a drunk hiding somewhere. What can I do with this info? Puka is claimed to be 2 away from nearest evil. So what that says is, wherever the Puka is, the minion did not use up one of its corruptions, assuming this is true. So that means we have 3 corruptions in this board. 2 from the Puka, and 1 from the drunk. What can I do from that? Well, I can check the Jester first. Jester is guaranteed lying there. In fact, that library sets up 7 to be the Bombardier, thank God. I know there's 2 outcasts. Otherwise, I probably would have stabbed the 7 and lost. Alright. 7's good. 2's good. 6 lying. If 5 is evil, then that would make 3 the minion and 8 the drunk. If... let's see... if 5 is good, then that would make 6 the Puka and 8 the minion. But then, and then 3 would be drunk. Well, actually, wait. If 5's evil, 5 can't be evil. If 5 was evil, then 3 would be evil, and then 8 would be the drunk, but 9 is now unaccounted for. If 5 were good, then 3 evil, 5 evil, be 3 evil, be 5, 3 evil, 5 drunk, and then the other 2 evils are too far away to account for anything. So I think that puts 5 as always good. If they're the drunk, then that makes 9 evil, 3 evil, 8 evil, 6 evil. That doesn't work. Then we've got 5 is Alright. I think 5 is probably good. I don't know where to stab first on this board. I gotta pick somewhere to start. I think the most likely situation is 5 is real, Puka is at 4, Jester is at 6, and then Drunk is at 8. Well, actually, no, wait, 4 can't be Puka because 4 is always away from the evils. So what would that then make? 3? Well, no, because that caught that. So that would then make 6 Puka. That would then make 6 the Puka. That's either 3 or 8. is the shaman, or the minion. And so then 9's telling the truth, 5 is a real minion, they got corrupted by the puka. So that means probably 8, well no, because of the corruption, the drone can be in either one. It was 3. That took me a little more time to do than it should have. Alright, so we got Drunk Puka, Witch Hidden, and then we got this state of the board with Scouts and Lane, Jester, Baker, Knitter, Oracle, and Poet. Immediately, we got Baker lying, because there was no original Baker. I wish I saw this. I would have flipped 8 instead of 2. Alright, so first we've got 2 and 5 are vetting themselves, or kind of pseudo-confirming each other's information. Because Knitter is saying that the evils are not adjacent to each other, which means there should be some number of distance away that's greater than 1. And then Scout is confirming that by saying Puka is 3 away from the witch. So they're pseudo-confirming each other. So let's go on that for a second. 3 evils is completely bullshit. That's definitely a lie. There's no way there's only 2 possible evils, so there can't be 3. Closest evil is equidistant. So that would then be... There is a world where 3 is the Puka corrupting these 2, which would then vet Poet over there. I kind of like that. Yeah, so that's the Puka. That makes Poet tell the truth. So that means then the Witch is between 2, 8, and 6. Because it's either 6... Or 6 could be drunk. Hold on, that is true. Puka's 3, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's either 8 or 6, it looks like. Based on the Scout's info. Puka can't be 2 away, because if Puka was 2 away... I guess Puka could be 2 away. This could be the witch right here. And that would still be true while 5 is also being true. But they definitely are more than 1 square away. That I'm confident in. So it could be... 6 could be drunk, and 1 could be evil. 1 can't be drunk, because if 1 was a drunk, it would either be 2 away on 5, which 5 is now telling the truth. It would be 1 away, which then 5 is not telling the truth. Or it would be 4 away, which doesn't work. So 2 can't be drunk. Well, 1 can't be the drunk. Yeah. So this is either evil or true. Or true. It can't be drunk. So we still don't know where the drunk is on the board. Let's say if you were evil, then one of these two would be the drunk. Wait, that actually... Hold up. Forgot about the drunk. The drunk would be anywhere closer. So it's possible the poet's lying. If the poet was evil, that would then make 6 drunk. And then 2 and 8 would be good. That's a possibility. Hold up. You might not actually be good. Because we don't know where the drunk is. Well, hold on. If 7 was evil, then 1 would be drunk, but 6 is still lying and they don't get corruption. So, I don't think 7 can be evil. 7 can't be drunk either, because if 7 was drunk, they should point 3 away. So no, poet is good still. Poet is still good. You can't be drunk. So it's either 6... 6 or 8. I'm going to say it's 8. It's 8. And 2 was the drunk. Alright. Next up then is Lilith, so we gotta be careful with our order. Oh, we have a witch. I can't flip the last one. Okay. So for hidden roles, we've got witch. We got Lilith and the minion. For the actual village itself, we've got 9. So let me swap to 9. The village itself, we've got Judge, Jester, Bombardier, Empress, Knitter, Oracle, Baker, and then 2 unknown roles. 9 is good. 9 has to be good because our counter didn't go up. So if 6 is to be believed, 8 is our minion. 5 claims we have 2 pairs of evil. So that would mean that all of the evils are next to each other. Which is not possible with 6. Because then that would mean 8. And we know 7 and 9 are good. Line. So that's the witch, so we can reveal the last card. Last card is Plague Doctor, which I was hoping was not the case, because that's low-key kind of dangerous now. Because it's possible that witch could have been corrupted. Though I guess if the witch was if this card was corrupted, that would have told us we have a Plague Doctor, and then 3 is guaranteed evil. So that wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world to happen. But we now know this is guaranteed lying. And we know you're lying because we know 2's not corrupted. So immediately we know Bombardier is our real card. So Bombardier is good. These are both evil. You told the truth. You're lying and we don't have any corruption. So you're telling the truth, so yeah, it's 5. Last one of the Ascension. So now we're at 9 evils again. No Lilith, so just flip everything. So we've got ourselves... What do we got? We've got a Gemcrafter, Architect, Lover, Scout, Gemcrafter, Dreamer, Gemcrafter. Oh wait, no, we have Architect first. My bad. Architect, Lover, Scout, Gemcrafter, Dreamer, Architect, Knight, Hunter, and Gemcrafter again. Our evils, well, our hidden roles include, we've got Drunk, Poisoner, Puppeteer, Ba. Oh, and the, Puppeteer, Puppet, and Ba. Okay, so, given that we have one outcast, we don't see the Wretch, we have to have a Drunk. Wretch is the thing that Ba added into the deck. From there, where can we start pointing fingers? So we have 2 lies from good characters. We have the Drunk being corrupted, and the Poisoner poisoning someone. 4 evils as well tells us that a puppet was successfully created. Alright, first things first. Hunter over here is lying. We immediately have that scenario where 4 away, we have no way of actually getting stuff 4 away. Distance from Ba, 3 away. So it'll be Ba somewhere, 1, 2, 3. Evil, 1, 2, 3, 4. That, so yeah, Ba, 1, 2, 3. Evil, 1, 2, 3. This one is potentially true. Both architects claim that there's more evil on the left side, which means that it can't be. One of these guys have to be evil, so the left side can't be more evil. So what that tells us is one is evil, the other is either corrupt, or the other is corrupt, either being a villager or the Drunk. So these both cannot be trusted. That means evil is either evenly distributed or the right side is more evil. What does that reveal to us? That tells us a decent amount. That tells us 9 is likely evil. Because for right side to be more evil, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That tells us 9 is likely evil because that means 4 out of 5 cards from 9 and 1 through 4. 4 of those 5 need to be evil. That tells us most likely the Drunk is at 6, because on top of that, we need adjacencies of evil, because we have the Puppeteer. So it's possible then that 6 is the Drunk, 4 vetting 6 is true, 9, 1, 2, and 3 are evil, and 9 poisons 8. If we do 8, can we do 8, 9, 1, 4? No, we can't do 8, 9, 1, 4. Because if we did 8, 9, 1, 4, that would then make 6 also evil. So that doesn't work. Can we do 8, 9, 2? No, because then it would be 8, 9, 2, 4 again. So I think it has to be a spread from 9 to 3. 9 poisons 8. 1 is evil, 2 is evil, 3 is evil, 6 is Drunk. 9 poisons 8. Just yeah, you get the truth. Puppeteer then spreads the puppet. The last one is not Scout. Well, we know poison actually poisons 8, so we can check 9. Okay. Really? So, actually, that then tells us... Oh, wait. Wait. So, 9, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This one told the truth, so that means 6 is evil. Does that make 4 out drunk? 4 is out drunk, that's why. Alright. I don't think I have enough time to do another ascension, so I am going to swap over to Endless and do a round or 2 of that before calling it. So, the difference is with Endless is they throw in an extra fake outcast. So, right now, we have 3 potential outcasts, but only 2 of them are in play. That's the main difference. Okay, so we're starting off with a village of 9. Our hidden roles are Drunk, Twin, and Puka. And our village contains the following roles. We've got an alchemist, a baker, a medium, an alchemist again, a bishop, an architect, a baker again, a knight, and an oracle. That's our set of 9. So, first things first, 7 is likely good. Because we had the trigger of Baker at 2. Oh wait, we also have a doppelganger potential. My bad, hold up. I missed the doppelganger. In fact, because of the fact that we do not see a bombardier, we have both a doppelganger and a drunk. So this is possible, and this is possible. Because doppelganger could be 8's a doppelganger, 7 was the original knight, 1's a doppelganger, 4's a original alchemist, or vice versa. Either way, well, not either way, we don't have a way to check that yet. We have between 4, 7, 8, there's an outcast. This we know for a fact is true, because our doppelganger has to be either 8, 1, or 4. So we know that these are, one of these 2 is the doppelganger. We know that for a fact. So this, and then we have claim of 2 or 8 being twin minion. Where do we go from here? Alchemist. Drunks can't be cured. So, at most, an alchemist can cure 2 corruptions. The only way for them to cure 2 corruptions, though, is actually impossible. In order for the alchemist to cure the corruption, like, if this alchemist were to hypothetically cure 2 corruptions, then it would have to be corrupted, Puka corrupted, because they can't cure the drunk. So this one's already lying. It's possible this one cured 1 corruption, where it could be corrupt, evil, corrupt, and then 4 cured 6. That one is possible, but there's no way for this one to actually cure all the corruptions it claims to cure. So, let's go off of that. Back to this, 4, 7, 8. It's possible 8's corrupted, but good. 9 is evil, because we know 2 is good. So if 8 is corrupted but good, then that would put 4 as evil. So then it'd be 4... That wouldn't work. This would have to be the doppelganger, and this would then have to be it. Because doppelgangers can't become bakers. So that would then mean, so if 8's evil, or if 9's evil, 8 can't get corrupted. Because 9 would be evil. This is 100% verifiably false, so this can't be a doppelganger. So it would be 9 doppel. 7 could be evil, actually. Well, no, if 7 was evil, because we flip them in order, this baker has to turn one thing what do you call it? So let's just say doppelganger, drunk, puka, twin. It has to do one thing. So this has to be good. Knowing that you're definitely good, I think I always have to check 8 with a stab. If 8's a knight, then 8's a doppelganger and it doesn't die. If 8's evil, then it dies and we know that 4 is our doppelganger. Okay, you did not die. So that means you're our doppelganger over here. You're our doppelganger and 4 is evil. 4 is our twin. We didn't find the twin at 2 or... Well, we didn't... We do still have a drunk we have to be careful about, actually. I think 9 still has to be the puka, though. Because the puka would spread its corruption to... If 1 was puka, then 2 would be lying. Which it is not. Verifiably not. Right side is also more evil. So that tells us 9... I'm pretty sure it's 9 is... 9's the puka, 1 is the drunk. Yep. The puka didn't get to corrupt anything. Now we have a village of 8. So we have a village of 8 here. Our hidden roles are the drunk, poisoner, and bar. So that confirms that. And our roles on the table are going to be gemcrafter, confessor, knight, druid, jester, judge, gemcrafter, and bard. Okay, so where do we start here? To begin with, we got a confessor saying they're dizzy, so they're either evil or corrupted. We don't see any of our outcasts, so our drunk is going to be the card. So, 2 good characters are going to be lying on this board. Confessors can't. Yeah. Confessors can't lie because they always are either good or they're saying they're dizzy. So that means this is a lie. We've got a claim of spreading this to here. Are there any other liars? 3 away from corruption. That could be true. If they're 3 away from corruption, then one of these are poisoners poisoning the one below it. And then the other one is drunk. Which would work, except for the fact that the gemcrafter is claiming 6 is good. So 6 is likely drunk, which would then put 8 as lying. And then 2 would be the other evil. 2 would then be poisoner, and they can poison 3. I think I checked for drunk among these 3. Okay, so a drunk is among these 3. That's what I wanted to know. So you're definitely telling the truth. 4 can't be evil. Let's pick out evils here. There is 1 evil among them that I also wanted to know. So that means... Actually, wait, is that possible? Before I confirm that. Among 2, 6, and 8, there's 1 evil. I don't think that's actually possible. Because one of these is evil, the other one is corrupt. So I think actually you are always evil. Hold up. If 6 is poisoner poisoning 5, that then makes 7 evil and we have everything else wrong. So I think 6 is good. I think 5 is poisoner poisoning 6. No. Okay. So that means these both are good. Because Jester is confirmed good. 7 is now vouching for 5. So that would then make... This is a good character. Oh, I didn't realize we had a duplicate gem. I should have paid more attention to that. So that means 1 is evil. 1 is poisoner poisoning 2. Or they could be poisoning... Well, actually, this has to be evil. There we go. Because 6 is good. That's not good anymore. That was a lot closer than I thought it would be. Alright, we'll do one more village and then I'm going to call it. We have a timer, so let's be a bit more careful. A real doppelganger. Can I find another confessor? I can find another confessor. That's actually huge. Okay. Let's fill this out. We have a village of 9. So switcheroo. We've got a wretch, a judge, a medium, a dreamer, a confessor, a bombardier, a dead card, another confessor, and a druid. Okay, so... Oh, and the hidden roles before we begin. Hidden roles are... Doppelganger, Minion, and Lilith. Okay. So, this one is actually pretty solid. Because we don't have a shaman. This one might actually just be an instant solve. Wretch always is good. We have 2 confessors confirming they're good. The only way for these both to say they're good is if one of them is a doppelganger. So that means 3 is telling the truth here, that 5 is the doppelganger. Unless 8 is the doppelganger. You know what? Let's check. You don't... Wretch does not count as an outcast. Perfect. No outcasts. Hold on. This might actually be a bit spicier than I thought. Well... Either 5 or 8 has to be an outcast. So I'm stabbing 6. 6 is a minion. Dreamer confirm that for me? Okay. So... How do we... So then it's just 9 is the other evil. Yeah. Okay. Not as interesting as I thought. 6er. You know what? We'll do one more, because this is a 6-size village. They usually don't take too long. They're always just find where the puka is. So this actually will either be really quick or take forever. Because we have a lot of lies to look through. A lot of good lies, I should say, that we have to look through. So we've got medium... Enlightened, poet, enlightened, architect, gemcrafter. Okay. So we've got 1 claiming 2 is really a doppelganger. So if 1's actually a doppelganger, that makes 4 good and you also good. You are claiming 5 is good. So if we were to do that... You're claiming the right side is more evil. Evils are not adjacent to each other. That's true because there's no evils. And all of a sudden we have a situation where we think everyone is telling the truth. Can an evil be... Can you actually pick equidistant when there's only 1? Hold on. I actually don't know. This is interesting. Because what I want to say is 5 is evil, done and dusted. Right? I think it just has to be 5 is evil. 5 is puka corrupting this, so instead of counterclockwise, it should be clockwise. 5 is not actually good. 5 then becomes evil from 6. And then 2's a doppelganger. I didn't know equidistant worked when there's only 1 character. But there's no way for Puka to be at 1. Because then 5 would be unaccounted for. Huh. I did not know they could say equidistant. Does that just mean... Does that make it so that that's always... If there's one evil and enlightened that says... what do you call it? An enlightened that says equidistant is always telling the truth? Because no matter where they are on the board, it's equidistant from the other closest evil. Right? Yeah, because if an enlightened has the puka here, and it says it's equidistant, it's 3 away clockwise and 3 away clockwise and 3 away counterclockwise. So yeah, that does make sense. That's interesting. I never thought of that edge case. Huh. The more you know. Alright. I think I'm gonna call it here. That was pretty successful. Have a good one, everyone. See ya.